Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal savior? I meant to, and then I just got really busy.
Welcome everybody to this video about the things nobody speaks about, the 4th season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. On this channel you will find another 3 videos from Buffy, the 2nd season, the 3rd season, things nobody speaks about. Actually, I need to do one about the 1st season, and Spike ain't good. I've got a short as well, so please check them out. Also on my TikTok account, I've got like 13-14 TikToks about Buffy, so if you got TikTok account, please check them out as well. You can see on screen my TikTok account is Chris Green with no spaces. And yeah, I'm rewatching the series after almost 15-16 years.
We have to face it. You can't handle Tara being my girlfriend.
No! It was bad before that, since you two went off to college and forgot about me. Just left me in the basement to Tara's your girlfriend?
Bloody hell.
This video is going to be chaotic, so mind the disaster.
Listen, you have to cover the area.
We have to get inside. Our families are in there. Our mothers and tiny babies.
I'm rewatching the series with 36 years old. I started watching Buffy with 15-16 years old. Then I rewatched it with 21-22, but single episodes, not from the beginning. And now I started with 35, I keep watching it with 36, and one thing I've realized, nobody speaks enough about the toxic relationship between Spike and Harmony. I do my research, and on TikTok I found several videos about, I was going to say a toxic relationship, Spike was toxic with and abusive with Harmony. Let me remind you all, is Spike, sorry for me it's a little bit complicated to pronounce, is Spike who turned Harmony into a vampire. A lot of you might think, fuck her, she was a mean girl in season 1, in season 2, with Buffy and all the Scooby Gang. Excuse me, that's no justification at all to mistreat a human. Well, no, it's a vampire, but I really find Harmony a sweet girl. I know Harmony tries to kill Buffy and the Scooby Gang with her minions. By the way, the minions is how Buffy calls Harmony Gang. But we need to understand a little bit Harmony. She becomes a vampire. She used to be one of the popular girls in high school, and she tries to find her new place in the world as vampire, her identity. A lot of people might call her a needy vampire, but it's the typical story about an old man taking advantage of a so much younger girl in this case.
Take me shopping and I can't believe you just did that!
Listen to me, you stupid bint. This gem is everything. I came back to Sunnydale for it. Now, when I have the gem, they all die. Don't worry. I can tell them, stay inside. And by the way, I would be insanely happy if from this point on I heard bugger all about sodding France.
I don't know why I let you be so mean to me.
Love that, sweetie.
Another topic few people speaks about is Buffy, the Scooby Gang, starting uni college. In the very first episodes of the season 4 is portrayed the fears about starting uni. Actually, starting uni is starting to face adulthood. I recall watching these episodes with 16, 17 years old, and I hated so much because it was a projection of what I had to face within a year. You can see on the very first episode of this season how Buffy is lost and have in mind is in uni with Willow and with Oz. So imagine how hard it is starting uni with no friends, away from your home and from your family. It's not well portrayed. Yeah, well, maybe in the beginning of the season, but not in the rest of the event series. Joss Whedon and the rest of the writers, they don't cover topics such as student loans. There are people out there, they keep paying the student loans the rest of their 30s and even on their 40s. Studying a career and being worthless because maybe in the future you won't find a job related to the career you've studied. Being forced to enter to uni to study a degree, normally by parents. A lot of people with 17, 18, they realize going to uni, to college is a waste of time and money, and they prefer forming themselves in careers and not necessarily going to uni.
Sounds like you could use my help.
I think we can all agree this is one of the worst episodes of Buffy, is the episode 5, Beer Bath. The only good thing about this episode is Buffy overcoming that MF who used her only for sex. And if the previous episode is one of the worst from the entire series, this is one of the greatest, but no one talks about it. It's so underrated. It's the episode 4, Fear Itself, and it's on Halloween. This is the third episode sitting up in Halloween. I'm reading from the website IMDb. The Scoobies are forced once again to deal with their personal fears. Xander fears being abandoned by the others, and he's separated from them all inside the house. Actually, this is true. This happened because when Buffy and Willow start uni, they kinda left Xander out, and you shouldn't do that to your friends. Willow is worried about losing control of her magic, and her spell backfires and attacks her. And this happened as well. Oz is scared of letting his inner wolf take control, and he begins to transform with no warning, and this as well, yeah, it happens. Buffy's fears stated outright by the frat boy with the broken neck. She fears being alone and is isolated from her friends. This is so sad because this practically foreshadows what happens in season 7 with Buffy's so-called friends and her sister kicking her out from her own house. So it's terrible. I recommend you to watch this episode and the next one, Restless, the last episode of this season, on which Giles, Buffy, Willow and Xander meet the first Slayer. The last episode of season 4 is called Restless and practically tells you in a very encrypted way what will happen with Giles, Buffy, the Scooby Gang. Another curiosity from the episode Fear Itself is that the Rosenheim mansion was the same house used for the first and 8th seasons of American Horror Story. So sought out for all the American Horror Story fans out there.
Oh, stop the car. Right, let's go then.
Probably this is a Mandela's effect on my brain, on my mind, but when I was watching again season 4, I was asking to myself, but Giles and Spike didn't have more screen time together, more scenes. On my 20s, when I watched Buffy the entire series 2 times, I recall scenes on which Spike was tied to the bathtub, speaking with Giles and interacting with Giles, but we got only one scene about that. There are actually scenes, but not as much as I recalled. We continue with this brilliant duo, and this exactly scene from the last episode of the season 4, Restless, on that episode I've already mentioned. Few people speaks about this exactly moment. We are in that episode in Restless, and we are inside the Giles' dream. He's facing his own fears, he's facing the vampire slayer, but nobody realizes how important this scene is. It's Spike and Giles and Spike dressing with practically the same suit, swinging, and I'm reading. I'm going to try a British accent, sorry about that. Giles here is gonna teach me to be a watcher. Says I cut the staff. And Giles' reply is, Spike is a son to me. It's curious, isn't it? Because Giles hates Spike with all his soul. When I finished this season, I went to YouTube, to TikTok, to read what people think about the end of the season, the whole season, and about this episode. Reading theories, comments, because I really like to read what other people think about this episode, this scene, what are their thoughts. So I came across with a super brilliant analysis about this exactly scene. This user explains the hatred Giles has towards Spike, and it's because Spike reminds of a younger self of Giles. Let me remind you, Giles was a super powerful magician. He made black magic. So that's possibly why he hates Spike, because he's a reminder of a younger self. And maybe if in the future things go bad, yes, they will go horribly, maybe he turn again to black magic. So maybe the hatred Giles has towards Spike is only a facade to hide the real feelings or the real motive Giles with Spike. He wants to create a real and deep bond with Spike because both are rich. Maybe he wanted to have a son. This is actually so interesting, and I can see no one speaking about this.
I mean, you're her mother, and she just leaves you here to die.
Hi, Mom. Hi.
This infuriates me because it's the lack of screen time of Joyce. Practically, we can see her on season 4, and we pass from season 4 not watching Joyce to Joyce getting ill and finally passing away. I would have loved to see Buffy's relationship with Joyce when she starts uni, when she starts to become an adult, but nothing. Instead, we have a super forced relationship between Riley and Buffy. Well done, Joss Whedon. Well done.
So, where are you from, Kathy?
Nebraska originally.
Ah, yes. Big sky country.
We always knew Spike always felt something towards Buffy since the beginning, but maybe Buffy towards Spike as well? In this episode, they are under a Willow spell. They wanted to marry each other, but they kiss, they touch each other, and when the spell is broken, they still can't remember that. So maybe Buffy's not that horrified about being kissed by Spike, being embraced by Spike.
I'll crump with you, sweetie pie.